Hi, I'm the one they call Nick Shell. If you're a fellow American, then you love me. If you're in Spain, I'm a frenemy. Ugh. How does this American who has a third Iberian DNA differ so much from me as a Spaniard, the Spaniards say. So we're obviously going to continue talking about this very relevant topic that people keep wanting to watch. You know, and again, my videos channel, it's not good. People keep watching it. I'm telling you, don't subscribe, don't watch my videos, and what do? You keep subscribing, keep watching my videos. You keep encouraging me. Before too long, I'm gonna have 1,000 subscribers, and I'll be making money again. Don't encourage me. All right, so here we go. I wanna look at some comments on the video I made called Why Many People in Spain Resent Americans. Right off the bat, I had a fellow American, Peter Gallinari, say, quote, "Man, I am loving the quality of your videos. Keep it up." To contrast that, though, we've got our good friend Fer Alonso, and here's what he says. Quote, "Americans know nothing about Spain because Americans know nothing about its own history. For instance, Spain put the name of 8 American states, California, Colorado, Montana, Florida, Nevada, Texas, New Mexico, Utah, but for sure, Americans think it was the Mexicans or Pablo Escobar," end quote. Let me interject. That's not what I believe. What I have always believed is that many of our states, like my home state, Alabama, or the state that I currently live in, Tennessee, that those names came from the Native Americans who lived here first, that my assumption is most of our state names came from that. I don't think about the Spanish. So I've learned something from this already, so I'm grateful because I'm an open-minded person. I make these videos not to teach, but to learn. I have selfish motives. I'm just here to learn. I admit I'm naive. I know that about myself when it comes to things like this. Spain, for example, a nation that Americans don't think about. That would, if America were to like give a subtitle for Spain, it'd be that. Spain, the country Americans never think about. It's true, we don't think about Spain. Which, this next comment kind of reinforces that concept. Same video, Rodolfo Lobo had this to say, quote, "Let's see, the Spanish influence in the United States is fundamental in its history. The south of the United States has its current lifestyle thanks to Spain. And if the Americans know some history, I'll say it for you. The American independence and the creation of the United States is partly thanks to Spain and does not appear in the books of American education. Spain was the country that fought the most against the English for the American independence. Even Spanish generals were there with George Washington for the fight between Spain and England. America owes a lot to Spain. If that seems little, the United States would not exist without Spain, without its discovery, without its exploration, and without its independence regards," end quote. Okay, let's sort that out. My unfiltered thoughts and reaction as the naive American I am. Immediately, hashtag triggered when I see this part about America being discovered. I know we've covered this before, but I don't believe that the Europeans or the Spanish discovered America. You can't discover a landmass where people have already been living for 10,000 years. You can't discover that. If something already exists and people already live there, you didn't discover it. It already was there. So I, as an American, have a hard time giving credit to Europe, Spain, any explorers for finding or discovering America. I give zero credit to Europe or Spain for discovering America because it was already here. And in my DNA is some of that heritage that goes back, granted it's on the Mexican side, but still, I am proof that people were living here a long time before anyone discovered this landmass. So I think we're discovering a fundamental reason why already I'm not grateful for Spain. I don't think about Spain, and I'm not grateful for it, because Spain did not discover America. It was already here. People had been living here for tens of thousands of years, at least 10,000 years. A long time, either way. Ask a historian about that. No one discovered America beyond the people who are the Native Americans. So I see, fundamentally, we're disagreeing here. As an American, I disagree with the Europeans that they discovered America. Didn't discover it. You may have discovered it for the Europeans, for the Spanish, but what about all the people already here? Like, you didn't discover me, I'm here. Oh, did you help me find myself? Now I know who I am? No. It's not how it worked. All right. Okay, so the thing about Spain fighting for the United States independence from England. Here's what I have to say to that. I didn't know that. Thank you. And I am grateful for that. And I'll probably never think about it again. It happened a long, long time ago. And if anything, when I think of things that occupy the minds of Americans when we think about our history, we don't really think about that anymore. I'm saying we. As an individual American, I don't think about the Revolutionary War. I watched the movie The Patriot. It's a great movie, right? But I think modern day, what Americans are more focused on, and when we think about our history, I think we're more focused on the aftermath of slavery and the Civil War. Even though that happened quite a while ago, we still see that the aftermath of the tension that exists between what happened because I was watching this video about how even 100 years after slavery ended, that if you were a black family, you couldn't safely travel across America. Even in the 1950s, when our interstate was created, you couldn't safely travel because not everyone would let you stay in their hotel. In fact, most wouldn't let you stay in their hotel, most wouldn't let you dine at the restaurants, and most wouldn't let you even fill up your car with gas. Like, that is tragic, and that happened even in the 1950s and 60s, not that long ago. So when we think about our history, we're more focused on that because that is more relevant to us right now. We're still trying to make amends with each other, and there's just still this tension going on. And so if we're going to think about history and American history, we're not going to think back to what happened hundreds of years ago. We're going to think about even what happened even 50, 60 years ago, and how we're still trying to make amends of that. I think that gets in the way of us even thinking or caring about how we got established as a nation. And then again, fundamental issue, I think that we all have, as Americans, many of us have guilt knowing that we were not here first. The Native Americans were here first, right? And it seems so racist to say that Europe or Spain discovered America. It seems racist to me. And so, and I've made videos, popular videos on my channel, where I talked about how so many Americans, before they take their DNA test, what do they think? They say, oh yeah, well my great-grandma, she was half Native American. And they take the DNA test and there's no proof of that whatsoever. Why does that happen? Because we subconsciously have guilt about what happened, that we took away their land, we sent them to Oklahoma, Trail of Tears. My hometown, Fort Payne, Alabama, like that was kind of the gate where they were collected and sent away, you know? And it's like, that makes me feel horrible. So I think that there's probably some guilt and shame involved. If we're gonna talk about anyone discovering America, it only is a reminder of how poorly the Native Americans were treated once the Europeans got here. And granted, 3/4 of my DNA is that Northwestern European DNA. And 21.6% of it is the Native American. So you're looking at someone who's mainly part of that. Granted, most of my ancestors on the European side were probably just really poor people and barely survived through the winter. I'm amazed that I even exist for what they survived through. But either way, I think fundamentally what we're realizing is part of the reason Americans are not grateful or mindful of Spain's role in American becoming an independent nation is because it reminds us that people were already here and we made their life worse, and we basically just kind of pushed them out and took over their land. And that doesn't make us feel good. I can't feel good about that. So what do? I don't think about it. And I don't think about America being colonized. I don't think about Spain's role. I just rather not think about it. So I think that's one of the reasons. Again, I want to remind everyone in Spain, it's not that America doesn't love you. It's that we don't think about you. You know, and have you heard of the band The Lumineers? I think one of the best bands, where they have a great album, and they have a song on there, I think it's called Stubborn Love. And they have a line in there that says something like, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Okay? And I think maybe as an American speaking to Spanish people in Spain, that's what I'm saying to you today. I think that maybe sort of the confusion you sense from Americans like me is, it's that you're not our enemy. I have zero negative feelings towards you, no ill will to you at all. Instead of hating you, it's just apathy. You never run through our mind at all. So I think in conclusion, I think you would have to change your tactic if you want America to care about you, Spain. Stop reminding us that you discovered us. We were already here for thousands of years. Okay? Take that away. That means nothing. It means nothing to me personally. I don't care. Not impressed. Not impressed. People already lived here. Okay? And then if it also reminds us of what the Europeans did to the Native Americans, that's not going to make me feel good either. So let's fast forward through all that, because I can't sleep good at night thinking about that stuff. Okay? So after all of that, what has Spain done for us? I know that a lot of Spanish missionaries came to America. Okay, that's good. You know, anytime you can lead people to a better life through faith, I think that's a good thing. So I'm grateful for the Spanish missionaries that came here. That's a good thing, as all the settlers were getting settled in, and then here's the Spanish missionaries, and okay, good. That's good. We're making some grounds here. What else you got for us, Spain? What else have you done for us recently? I think that's the thing, is if it hasn't happened more recently, we kind of don't care and we forget. So Spain, I'm challenging you. What have you done for America recently to make us think, oh yeah, Spain exists? And keep in mind, most Americans don't think that Spain is in South America. That's something that Spanish people like to believe about Americans, but we don't think that. We don't think about Spain. So Spain, you have a PR problem with America, right? You want to be loved. You want to be noticed. You want to be acknowledged by Americans, and we simply don't think about you. Stop focusing on the fact that you discovered us, which is hilarious. That's a punchline to me. Stop talking about that. Recently, what have you done for America to be relevant? Educate me, enlighten me, and remember, my channel is awful. Don't subscribe. Don't watch my videos. Don't comment. It only encourages me and makes me more relevant. Spain, more recently, what have you done for America that makes us think about you? I'm asking, recently, Spain, enlighten me. I want to love you. I want my heart to beat for you. I want to fall in love with you, Spain. I'm just not thinking about you enough. You need to get on my mind, Spain. Get on my mind, Spain.